Hey, soul survivors, we are going to talk about reverse psychology. I love reverse psychology. And what it is it's a psychological technique and it involves encouraging someone to do the opposite of what you actually want them to do. So we're going to get into manipulation, if we should use it, what the positive outcomes and the negative outcomes. So it's basically getting somebody to do the opposite of what you actually want them to do, what you're saying. So in order to get this desired outcome, it operates on the principles that humans tend to react against being told what to do. So reverse psychology, this can often work by appealing to a person's desire for independence and control. So by presenting a situation as if a specific behavior or action is not recommended, or if it's even prohibited, people may start to feel a sense of rebellion or defiance and decide to do the opposite. Essentially, by using reverse psychology, you are attempting to manipulate someone into making a particular choice by making it seem like it's their decision. People like to make their own decisions. Sometimes it's healthy, sometimes it's not, but we're getting into what reverse psychology is. So this type of technique can be used in many different contexts, whether it's parenting, education, even marketing. So as an example, some parent might tell their child, you're definitely not allowed to eat those vegetables. They're only for grown-ups. So this child will be driven by the curiosity or the desire to prove their independence. They might end up trying the vegetables despite being initially reluctant. A lot of kids like coffee too because they're told not to drink it. So in an educational setting, I am a teacher. Reverse psychology could be employed to engage students and encourage their participation. Somebody might say as a teacher, I don't think anyone in this class can handle the challenging assignment I have prepared. So people are going to want to prove themselves. This statement might pique the student's interest and motivate them to prove the professor or teacher wrong, and they will tackle that assignment with enthusiasm. Usually children don't like these assignments, but if you make them feel like they're going to show up the teacher, like I'm better than you, they get a little kick out of that. So use it with caution and in appropriate situations, but it can be a powerful tool when used appropriately. It taps into human psychology and our natural tendency to resist direct orders or suggestions. By presenting the desired behavior as something we shouldn't do, it can trigger a reaction that leads us to do exactly what is desired. So on top of this, in addition to the examples we discussed earlier, reverse psychology can also be effective in changing attitudes or opinions. When someone holds a strong belief or opinion, directly challenging or confronting them may lead to resistance or defensiveness. But when you use reverse psychology and present an opposing viewpoint indirectly, it can create opening for reconsideration or a change in perspective. Now, it is important to remember that the success of reverse psychology relies on an individual's susceptibility to it. Different people can respond differently. We're all different. So some people will take to this technique. It will be based on their personality, past experiences, or current circumstances. Some people may be more resistant to manipulation while others may be more susceptible. So it's good to know who you are. And we do need to remember, there's good and bad. When we guide people, is it for good intentions or bad intentions? So what are some examples of reverse psychology? Cleaning the room. Parents often use reverse psychology to motivate their child to clean their rooms. So instead of telling them directly to clean up, a parent might say, I don't think you can handle the challenge of cleaning your room before dinner. And this can trigger a desire for the child to prove themselves that they are capable and able to promptly clean their room voluntarily. So this is also used in product marketing. A lot of times advertisers may employ reverse psychology to promote their products. They may say things like, this product is not for everyone, making you feel a sense that you're special and it might be for you. And it also creates a sense of exclusivity and making people want to be a part of the select group that uses this product. People feel good when they feel that they're extra special. Also, studying for exams, a teacher might say to their students, I'm not sure if you're ready for this difficult exam. By challenging these students' abilities, it can spark their determination to study harder and prove themselves capable of acing this exam. Also, people with bad habits, whether it's smoking or drinking. Suppose somebody wants to quit smoking. They might tell themselves, I'm going to keep smoking forever. I'll never quit. This self-imposed challenge can trigger a desire for change and motivate them to prove that they can break the habit. It's interesting how it works, that you feel this is going to happen, but then you want to feel your power, so your power will change it. Persuading a friend. If you want to convince a friend to go to a specific restaurant, you could say, I don't think you'd like the food there. It's probably too spicy for your taste. This may trigger their curiosity or desire to prove you wrong. Doesn't always work. Sometimes it does, but it'll lead them to agree to the restaurant. You can't even say it might be too expensive for you. And they want to prove that it's not too expensive, that they do have the funds to go to this restaurant, that they are at that caliber. So let's explore how a narcissistic person may use psychology. We're also going to talk about a healthy person, but in their intentions, they can seek validation. A narcissistic individual, this isn't just about people with NPD, narcissistic personality disorder. Some of us, well, we all are narcissistic in some degree. So a narcissistic individual may use reverse psychology to get compliments or validation from others. They can say things such as, I know you probably don't think I'm talented, but I guess I'll just have to settle for being average. And so by downplaying these abilities, they are fishing for compliments. They manipulate others into praising them and reaffirming their self-importance. That's why the narcissist loves to play the victim. So you can say, you're not an asshole, or I do love you. And they're feeding off of us to give them this validation. They don't have the self-love that they need, so they are extracting it from us. They do use reverse psychology quite often. So also control and manipulation. Narcissists love to control others. They can use reverse psychology to manipulate situations in their favor. So a narcissist who might be a manager might tell their employees, I don't think you're ready for this project. I guess I'll have to find someone else to handle it. Now, this can sometimes prompt the employee to feel challenged and they want to prove their competency. So thereby allowing the narcissistic manager to maintain their control by making the employee more compliant. So when it comes to attention seeking, a narcissistic individual, they love, crave, and feed off of attention and admiration. They often use reverse psychology to get sympathy or special treatment. So they might say things like, nobody cares about me anyways. I'll just have to handle everything alone. And this type of statement can prompt others to offer help or reassurance. And this gives a narcissist an allowance to remain the center of attention. Now, we all know narcissists love to do gaslighting. It is the crazy making. And gaslighting is a manipulative tactic, and this is used to make others doubt their own perceptions or even their sanity. And that's why it's so important to know, is our person narcissistic? Because that will affect your sanity. They may use reverse psychology to twist situations, make others question their own motives or intentions. So a narcissistic partner might say, I know you want to break up with me, so why don't you just go ahead and do it? They will say that often. They like to discard or have you, a lot of times they like to have you break up with them because they have a fear of abandonment. They fear they're going to be abandoned. So they feel everybody's going to just abandon them. So they push you to abandon them because that's what they feel is normal. And it's weird how that works. But this statement will create confusion and doubt in the other person's mind. And it makes them question their own true desires or their comfort level. So we do need to remember that narcissistic behavior is manipulative and harmful. But let's explore how someone might attempt to use reverse psychology to make somebody fall in love with them or become more connected with them. We have to remember that attempting to manipulate or force someone's emotions, it is unethical and it can be harmful to both parties involved. But for the purpose of discussion, here are the hypothetical examples. Creating mystery. Someone interested in another person may use reverse psychology to create a sense of mystery and intrigue. They might say things such as, I don't think you'd be interested in someone like me. I have a complicated life. So by just suggesting that they are unattainable or out of reach, it might spark curiosity and make the other person more interested in getting to know them. They can play hard to get. This is a common strategy. And this is why, if you notice with people that you are not interested in, those are the ones that chase you. And the people you are interested don't. But this strategy involves appearing less interested or available to make the other person desire their attention more. So people love to prove that they're worthy. So somebody might say, I'm not looking for a serious relationship right now. I'm more focused on my own goals. So by suggesting a lack of interest or commitment, it might pique that person's desire and make them harder to gain their attention and affection. And by putting the effort in, even if it's not reciprocated, that's when you start craving the person because you are putting in effort. You want. And I'm gonna do another video on want versus need. And being whole within yourself. That's really important for us. So highlighting desirable qualities. Someone might use reverse psychology to indirectly showcase their positive qualities and also their accomplishments. So for example, they might say, I doubt you'd be interested in someone as ambitious and successful as me. By downplaying their achievements, they might incite admiration and make the other person more attracted to them. Like, what is all about this person? Challenging compatibility. Another approach could involve questioning the compatibility between two individuals. So somebody might say, I don't think we make a good couple. Our personalities are probably too different. So if there has to be a little spark of desire that by suggesting potential incompatibility, they may trigger a desire to prove that the relationship could work, leading to increased efforts to connect on a deeper level. So we do need to realize this attempt to manipulate someone's emotions or play with their feelings is not healthy, but the mind, the way it works is extremely interesting. There can be benefits of reverse psychology, such as motivation or engagement. Reverse psychology can sometimes ignite motivation, also engagement in individuals who may otherwise resist direct commands or suggestions. So when you present a challenge or you imply that something is off limits, it can spark curiosity and encourage proactive behavior. So with our narcissist, a lot of times they dismiss us, so they get us to react to that. Also, shifting perspectives. When you use reverse psychology, it can be effective in shifting somebody's perspective or challenging their beliefs. So by indirectly presenting an imposing viewpoint or suggesting the opposite of what they may believe, it can create an opportunity for reaction and sometimes potentially lead to a personal growth or change. Now, there are negative outcomes of reverse psychology I'd like to discuss. It can involve manipulation and deception. Reverse psychology inherently involves manipulation, and it can be a form of deception. It seeks to influence others by playing on their emotions, also their desires. When it is used irresponsibly or when it is used excessively, it can erode trust and damage relationships. So I want you to be aware of that. Also, emotional harm. When you use reverse psychology, it can have emotional consequences. People don't like to be manipulated, particularly when it targets vulnerabilities or insecurities. It can sometimes exploit someone's feelings, create confusion, insecurity, and resentment. So, employing such tactics without consideration for the emotional well being of others can be harmful. We have to understand our people. Are we helping them or are we hurting them? There's also ethical concerns with reverse psychology. And since it is, in all honesty, a form of manipulation for personal gain or control. So respect the autonomy and consent of others should always be prioritized in any interpersonal reaction, and it is essential to consider the potential impact and ensure that the technique is applied ethically and also responsibly. But reverse psychology sometimes just works itself out. You might not have manipulative motivation, just the way you say things. Sometimes we do feel like, yeah, maybe you don't want to hang out with me, and they will prove that they do, as opposed to us being in a state of need. State of need changes the way people view you, and it also changes like codependency, and I want to do a video on that. But please comment, like, and subscribe. Likes and comments are the most important. We do have live chat. I do have one-on-ones available. Comment below on some things you've learned about reverse psychology, or when you had that used on you, or when it was successful where you might have experienced it. I'll see you in the next video, guys. Have a great day.